Vikings Valhalla, a new series coming to Netflix on February 25th, is sure to please fans of the original Vikings series. It has great action, intense drama, and a strong story that I believe will keep the audience engaged throughout the whole entire journey of these 8 episodes. I'm Chainsaw Reacts. This is my review for Vikings Valhalla. I'm just going to come out and say it. I love this series. I had such a fantastic time watching the show, and each time when I finished an episode, I wanted to jump to the next one because I really enjoyed how they progressed the story, how they developed these characters, and I couldn't wait to see where the story was going to go because I was starting to have theories and I was predicting certain things, certain outcomes, and sometimes I was right and sometimes I was wrong. What makes Vikings Valhalla work so well in my opinion is the balance between story and action. As I mentioned, this show has great action, some great battles, some great one-on-one fights, but what matters most is you care for each of those fights that go on, big or small, it doesn't matter, because of the story they're building around it. They could have easily gave us a bunch of action sequences that don't really matter, but each one counted, and each one was either really personal for an individual character we're following, or it's important for the overall narrative because of the power struggle and the politics behind certain things. Just a lot of things going on with that in terms of the differences between certain fights and certain battles. It was really important, and they delivered it pretty damn well. Another big positive, another highlight for Vikings Valhalla is that it wastes no time. There is no filler. I was blown away by that because basically the opening sequence of Vikings Valhalla, the very first episode, we're shown exactly why the series is happening, and so much story and so many things progress because of the opening moment. I started having predictions and theories right away after seeing the opening sequence and holy crap, okay, so this is probably how far the story is going to go with these 8 episodes. I was wrong. We got way past my prediction, and we got so much more and so many different characters we're following. It was fantastic. One critical thing I do want to mention, and it's not too critical because it's something that I just wish personally for myself, and maybe you all will disagree when you watch the series. We only have 8 episodes, but already they're confirmed for multiple seasons. They already wrapped shooting for season 2, so it's going to be coming pretty soon. They're prepping for season 3, so, you know, we got plenty of episodes coming, but after finishing all 8, and seeing how much story and how much things they covered, I wish there was more in terms of like 10 episodes, maybe 12, something to that effect, because there was so much story they were giving us, and at times I'm like, I need more story. Like I think I would appreciate the show more if there was more story to tell within what we were told within these 8. If they expanded to maybe like 10 and gave us some more detail and some more focus on this character here and this character here to basically build up this particular moment that happens later more, if we had more episodes and more time, but maybe that would also hurt it. I'm not really sure. I just wish there was more because at certain points we're getting some great development, but there's other characters that could be focused on more so that when this moment happens, this decision happens, this twist happens, it's more impactful because there's been more build-up. But I just think overall it was balanced as well as it could be with these 8 episodes. I just wish there was more. I want to give thanks and praise to the production team behind Vikings Valhalla because the sets, the shooting locations were so damn cool. It was so great, and it felt like I was thrown into the actual world of Vikings Valhalla, seeing all the different locations, the castles, the forest, the forts, and all these different areas these characters visit. I really felt that I was within the world that they were building, and it felt real. It felt authentic. The cast is fantastic in this series, and I believed them. I believed their characters, and I loved all of the different dynamics with each character. And what I was most surprised by is there are certain characters that are introduced, of course, early on, like the beginning of the show, that of course matter and carry throughout the entirety of season 1. There are certain characters that are introduced in the back half of season 1 of this series, and I'm thinking, okay, so they're introduced really late in the game here. Are they going to really make an impact here? Like, we've had so much other stuff going on with these characters. Is this person here who's now showing up, are they going to matter? And they do. They basically make every single character to some extent matter in terms of if they're getting screen time, if they're getting involved with a story, or they are the whole point, the main focus of a storyline going on. Each character had a purpose. Each character had a roadmap, a path, if you will, to follow, and it all intertwined in some sort of connective tissue, and it all just freaking worked. And I was blown away by the amount of stuff they were telling within the stories, and some of the storylines were intertwining in terms of they're all kind of falling under this certain umbrella of a certain storyline, but the fact that they were able to manage all these different storylines and all these different characters and making it all work, It was truly an experience, for sure. Now, in dealing with a ton of characters with different ideology and mindsets, we have the political side, the politics of Vikings Valhalla. The creatives behind this series could have easily lowered the political side or the politics down to a minimum in terms of how important it is, but in fact they do the opposite. In some cases, the politics of this entire show in terms of power, who's in power, alliances, betrayals, all that kind of stuff, at certain points, it's the most important aspect of the series. And I will say this, Vikings Valhalla would not have worked if the political side, the politics of the storylines, didn't really matter. If I honestly didn't get attached to how important it is and how important they actually made it to the storyline, if it just fell flat whenever they got to the political side of stuff, this show, in my opinion, would not have worked. It would have had great action and some great characters, but the political side is so freaking important at times that if it didn't work, the show wouldn't work. Honestly, there isn't a character that I outright hated. Now, of course, there are certain characters within the series you're not supposed to like. You're supposed to dislike, you're supposed to hate, but in some sort of way, I actually liked all of the different characters in some sort of way, whether they're good or not, because of how the story was being progressed. I'm like, this is just so good. Like, I want to see more of this character. I want to see more of this character. And sometimes you get that, and sometimes, unfortunately, you don't. And that point at the end there really ties back into the fact that I wish there was more episodes because certain characters I felt deserved more screen time, deserved more focus. But the characters they do focus on, it made sense, but I just kind of wish, I wish there were certain characters that had more screen time, but that's just me. Vikings Valhalla has a lot going for it in terms of the stories, these characters, you care for these characters, the political side of it, the betrayals, the twist. I mean, the list goes on and on. I was blown away by how they progressed the story. I like the fact that I was wrong on my theories when I was watching the series. And I honestly wish I could watch it again for the first time. I wish I could experience it again for the first time, even though I just finished it. But that's just how I felt about it. I wasn't sure what to expect because I figured I was going to like the show just based off the trailers. I'm like, this looks great. But I was surprised at how much I liked it. And it makes me want season 2 now. I need more of Vikings Valhalla. And that's all I can really say. That's my review for Vikings Valhalla. If you're looking for a series with great action, great story, amazing characters, all of that, trust me, you need to check out Vikings Valhalla when it drops on February 25th on Netflix. It is worth watching. Only 8 episodes. I wish there was more, but only 8 episodes, so it's not a too long of a sit. But trust me, I think once you watch that first episode, you're going to want to continue, especially with how that first episode progresses. You're definitely going to want to go, what? Because then you see the pacing of it. You see how great it's going to progress with its story, and then you just want to jump in. And trust me, you want to jump in and continue. So when you guys see the series, come back here and comment below and let me know what you thought about the show or what you're thinking about the show so far. Hope you guys are having a great day. I will talk to you guys soon. Peace out.